topic in the first unit of e-commerce is the e-business, or sometimes we call it the electronic business or online business. Online business. It means that transactions are the conducting of the transactions through the internet. That means that buying or the selling or doing any communications or any transaction through the internet or the over the internet, we can call as a e-business or the electronical business. That can first which was used by the IBM people in 1997. That means that e-business, the first person who have used is IBM people in 1997. That 1997. E-commerce is a subset of e-commerce. E-business is a subset of the e-commerce. See, e-business is a subset of e-commerce. That means that doing of all the transactions, making of a buying or the selling, whatever the goods or the services or the communications over the internet or through the internet, or doing of any business from one customer to the other customer or one business to the other business through the internet or the over the internet is called the business. Doing of the business through the internet. It's called e-business. Business is a type of making of the transaction or making of the communication between the two parties or the three parties. Here we are making of the business electronically from one party to the other party. The party one may be a customer or a business, a man or a buyer or a seller. The other people is a retailer or the wholesaler or the market people. That means that we are making of the business of one person to the other person or one party to the other party over the internet, or doing of the business is called the e-commerce. There are some of the advantages and the disadvantages when we are making of the electronic business. Since we are doing of the business through the internet and all the things, some of the advantages and the disadvantages are there. The first one is the easy to set up. Yes, exactly. And I have an internet, I have a web browser, and computer. I can start the e-business and all the things. Easy to set up. Suppose if you want to set up a business and all the things, I need a room or a mall to start a business and all the things. That is not there when you are doing the e-commerce. Easy to set up. You do the business from your home or from your workplace or from your office. I can start the e-business and all the things. There is no mall need, there is no commercial building need, there is no cost, something doesn't need when you are doing the e-commerce business and all the things. So then I can say that easy to set up. So the second one is no geographically boundaries. Exactly. See, if I start the place of one X place, I can do the business, the surroundings in and around that place only. Suppose if you are doing the e-business and all the things, there is no geographically boundaries, something like that. I can expand my business from the state to state, or district to district, or the country to country, or the continental to continent. That means that I can expand my business from one place to the other place and all the things. That means that there is no geographically boundaries. I can do the business globally. That is called one of the main advantages of e-commerce. Cheaper than, see, when you are doing the traditional business and all the things, there should have some costly things which is happen when you are doing the business and all the things. So, when compared to the traditional business and all the things, e-business is the cheaper when compared to the traditional business and all the things. Since I told that it is easy to set up, easy to maintain and all the things. So that I can say that it's cheaper when compared to the traditional business and all the things. Of course, it is more flexible. If I wanted to start any business and all the things, it's more flexible when you are doing of the physical business and all the things. I can start at any time, at any place, at anywhere. So when you are starting at the physical business and all that, I need some setup, some not flexible. not flexible when you are doing the physical business and all the things. When compared to the e-business and all the things, that is the more flexible and all the things when compared to the traditional things. See nowadays government is giving the subsidy when you are doing the any e-business and all the things. Even for the traditional business also, government is giving the subsidy and all the things. As my knowledge is concerned, even nowadays the government is giving the more subsidy when you are doing the e-business through the internet and all the things. See, I can do business through the e-commerce at any time, at anywhere, and also any time. See, there is no something like that. I want to start this time. I want to do business this day. Irrespective of that, I do the business at any time, at any place, at any way. That means more flexible things. There is a lot of advantages. Some of the things I have discussed over here. The next one is what are the main disadvantages of the e-business? See, when you are doing the physical businesses also, some of the drawbacks or the limitations or the disadvantages are the same like that only. There are some of the disadvantages when you are doing the e-business. So the first one is the network security issues. Yes, correct. When you are doing the e-business through the internet and all the things, some security issues will come when you are doing the business and all the things. Suppose when you are doing the business and all the things, you have a problem with a virus, you have a problem with the intruder or the intruder, or some of the threatening programs or malicious programs, you have a problems when you are doing the e-business. This is the one of the network security problems when you are doing the businesses through internet. That is called the e-business. Next, when you are doing the business and all things, you are not touching what business you. I mean, suppose you are doing the grocery business and all the things. The customer cannot touch or feel by seeing the product and by touching those things. Those facilities are not available when you are doing the e-business and all the things. You do business electronically, not physically and all the things. There is no physical transactions from one person to the other person. All the things which is over here is the business transactions between the one party to the other party or one person to the other person through the electronically, not the physically and all the things. So that the physical touching of the things is not available when you are doing the e-commerce. See, this is the one thing. Here when you are doing the business and all the things, e-business and all the things, there is no meeting, there is no personal meeting or most things between the buyer and the seller. Probably the buyer sitting X place of one country, the seller may be sitting in the Y place in the other country also. That means that no physical things done between the buyer and the seller. The buyer may be sitting in one place, the seller may be in the other place. That means that there is no physical contacts. There is no physical contacts between the buyer and the seller. So that sometimes there may be risk. Buyer has been sent some of the products to the seller and all that. That product of the quality products are not delivered to the other person. So you are not supposed to whom to ask those things. Tell me whom to ask those things. Sometimes these are one of the disadvantages of the e-business things. The next one is the transactions risk. Yes, of course. The business means it involves all the transactions between the one party to the other party. Those are the physical things. When it comes to the e-commerce and e-business and all the things, you are making of the transactions through the internet, from the internet party 1 to the party 2. Some of the transaction may be failed, and some of the transaction risks between the user, buyer to the seller, or the party 1 to the other party. Those are some of the risks which is available when you are doing the internet transaction through the e-business. The third one is the delivery problem. See, I have doing the business through the online and other thing. I have placed an order to some other Y business people. The product may be taking the delay when you reach to you also. Since it is an electronic things and all the things, sometimes it may be the delay of the delivery and also some of the quality also missing. Suppose I have delivered the X product and all the things. probably you may receive the Y product instead of the X product. Even the recent things also happened when the customer has booked a laptop and all the things, but the customer has received other thing. That means instead of the laptop, he has received all the soap boxes and all the things. Those are the delivery problems and all the things. That means the quality has missed. The customer has here. The customer has ordered the laptop and all the things with high range of probably which I have seen in this paper. Some of the paper he ordered laptop with the worth of 35,000 and all the things. After 3 or 4 days, he has received a laptop box and all the things. Once the customer has opened those things, you have seen all the soap boxes, other irrelevant materials and all the things. So those are some of the problems which is occurred when the customer delivers. Sometimes the customer delivers unordered products and all the things. Those things which is happens when you are doing the business online things. These are some of the ones. There are a lot of disadvantages. Here I have discussed some of the disadvantages of the e-business. In the continuation of e-business and all the things, as of now we discussed about what it is an e-business, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the e-businesses and all that. Now we'll discuss about what are the applications of e-business and all the things. I said that e-business is a doing of the business through the online. That what are the type of the business you do, selling or the buying or making of the services or doing of the services through the internet. That comes under the business of electronic business. So these are the applications of e-business. The first one is the e-procurement. Those are the first one of the e-business application. What is the e-procurement and all the electronic procurement? Internet-based sales transactions between the business people and the digital marketing. That means that when you are making of the businesses, when you are doing of the business through the internet and all the things, the business should be the one person to the other persons by making of the transactions and all the things. That making of the concrete procurement that needs of the e-business under the e-procurement and all. The second one is e-communication. See, electronic, when you are doing the business and all the things, the communication between one party of the business to the other party of the business through maybe the email, or making of the e-advertisement, all the things. That is one of the communication media. Probably you can call email, electronic mail, probably your Gmail or some other office mail and all the things, and making of the communicating from one business person to the other person through the e-communication, or you can call making of the email, through the advertisement or some other communication media. Again, communicate from the one person of the business to the other person of the other business people through the e-communication. The next one is the e-deliver, that is electronically delivery. Suppose when the customer has placed one order through some of the e-business website and all the things, the product has reached to the customer from the seller only. That should be the quality of the product has to be delivered. That can be monitored by the e-business people only. Next one, the e-trading. See, trading means a type of marketing and all the things. Suppose I started a business, something like that. If you don't have any marketing strategy and all the things, your product cannot go to market and all the things. So that means the trading and the marketing is very, very vital part when you are doing of any business and all the things. Here also e-advertisement are doing of the any marketing and which comes under the e-trading. Suppose if you want to expand or extend your businesses and all the things, the market plays the important role of your product and all the things, which comes under the e-trading or market. See, when it comes to the e-business and others, e-bidding or e-action, velam paata veyadam anedi. Suppose the customer, the business people collect all some of the goods and all the things, e-making of the bidding, auctions and all the things through the e-bidding websites and all the things, those things. Probably the government can do the auctions, or sometimes the customer they also do the e-bidding or auctions, and all the things can do through the e-bidding and the e-auctions. These are the 5 e-business applications are there. E-procurement and all the e-communication between the sender or the receiver or the business person to the other person via an electronic media or the email and all the things I can communicate. E-delivery, from the sender to the receiver and receiver to the sender. That means that the receiver receives the quality of the product from the sender. E-bidding, e-trading, type of marketing things, strategical things. E-bidding and auctions which comes under the business, e-business activities.